Hello everyone. So, the Re-Rise Gundam, everybody's going on about it, whether it be people on the Discord, whether it be people in the comments, or people in the community on Twitter. Everybody's kind of on the love it, hate it bandwagon. Not quite sure about why it's a giant transforming, combining mobile suit, and just genuinely how it fits into everything. So, let's get into this. First off, the most important part of the conversation that I think everybody's raised so far, does it look good? In some frames, yes, and I'll agree with everybody else, it does look better when it's in gold. But overall, no, it doesn't look amazing, but it does stick with the theme of the show. This is one of the things that I've noticed when I'm thinking more about stuff, is that things might seem out of place or might seem terrible, but it does make sense when themed with the rest of the show. And what I mean by that is, we've been saying, or at least I have, in all these videos about how the Re-Rise team really are a kind of a bunch of randoms that have got together and slowly formed a team. They've slowly become friends, they've learned to rely on each other, and they all have their each individual styles that they bring to the table, their own unique characteristics, and that's reflected in all the Gundams that they have. But with the Re-Rise Gundam, does that whole train of thought, does the idea of them all being unique, does it work out well with the Re-Rise Gundam? And I'd argue that even though it looks weird, given the context, yeah, it works. And the reason is because going into this, they needed all four of them to take on the final mission. All four of them had committed from the very beginning to see this through till the end, more or less. There was a little bit of a second thought in the first couple of episodes, but after finally committing to it properly, after Segri got blown up, or rather got completely taken off the map, that's when you knew this had to happen. They had to get to the end, all four of them together. Why does that make any sort of sense, or why does that come into conversation when we're talking about the final mobile suit? It's because the final mobile suit obviously represents all of them. All of the feelings poured together, and all of the strengths in one mobile suit. And I went on about this in the review of the episode, where I said when you look at it, you have May's weird Wodon pod with its eye field that we've seen plenty of times before, or its defensive abilities. We've seen Hiroto constantly changing different armors, but making up the main part of the group in terms of the core talent, the one that was always there to pull them through. You have Par's amazing flying ability that he's developed over the course of the show. And then you have Kazami's strength and defense that he's slowly evolved himself over the course of the show. And all of this combines through the different parts. Like I said, with May's Wodon pod, we have the extra defense, which goes into the thing that looks like an eye field when it raises up its arms. You've got Kazumi's strength with the giant shoulders and arm pieces. You have Hiroto taking up the main section, and then Par's wings on the back to help them fly or be more mobile. So it makes sense as a giant combining robot. Why the giant combining robot? It's just because, one, it looks flashy, and like I said before, it puts all of their feelings and all of their abilities into one machine. They could have decided, you know what, we'll try and end this with the four individual suits. But honestly, I think if they were going to do that, they'd have needed to be a lot closer to the satellite, and Alice would have needed at least one more mobile suit up his sleeve for them to fight that would have provided a really good threat to all of them. But, as stated in the episode review for episode 25, by this point in the story, they'd taken on everything that was thrown at them. primarily because of the training that they had, and they'd beaten everything, so there was nothing that could stand in their way at this point, apart from the cannon. So, what do you do when the cannon is about to fire, and you've got 4 mobile suits? You combine the output of those 4 mobile suits into one, and then shoot it at the cannon and see whether the cannon holds up. And it's crazy. I've seen some people drawing comparisons with different combining robots online, and sure enough, it seems to be an homage to that kind of thing. But at the same time, you've got to love the craziness and the gaudiness of a giant golden mobile suit shooting a massive beam at this satellite and destroying it easily, and when it's not seemingly in its golden form, being able to take on things like a psycho Dauntress and just cleave it in half easily, as if nothing was even there to begin with, like a knife through butter. I will agree with you all that it is a really weird design, and that it does look ugly in its normal colours. I can't wait to see if anybody manages to paint this in that sort of reflective gold coating that some of the other mobile suits come in. I know there's a special release version. I've yet to see whether that's going to be released in sort of that mirror gold coating, the highly reflective one that we see stuff like the Phoenix in, or the Hyakushiki. It'd be interesting if it was. I just want to see how this all works out, because I don't know whether we're going to need other pieces from the different kits to put it all together. People have been wondering this themselves on Twitter or in the comments section by the looks of it. But yeah, it was still a really cool way to finish off the laser as kind of this big last hurrah of, yeah, look what happens when we combine all our abilities and all our power into one unit. I also like the way that this was alluded to beforehand, and how everybody was trying to figure it out for ages. The easiest thing to figure out was the skirt armor on Mei's section, but it wasn't really that easy with the arms for Kazumi's suit, or the wings from the Valkylander, primarily because I don't think we saw those as separate units, or it wasn't really highlighted enough that they actually came off in the kits. The presentation of them didn't seem to imply that anyway. At least not to me. But we did get to see the blue sections of Mei's new armor stand out way more. That made everybody start thinking, wait a minute, is this going to be a combiner? What are we going to get here? Anyway, what did you guys think about the mobile suit? I know some of you say it's gaudy and some of you say it's terrible. What do you think about it? How do you think it was used? Was it used well? Did you enjoy this sequence? Personally, I liked the bits with the magical circles with Crowdon in them that were a nod to him, especially after Pa worked on the wings and everything to help repair them and got inspired by him, so I can't help but feel like that's a carryover. But yeah, the entire sequence was great and kind of reminded me a little bit of Build Fighters Tri Island Wars, where they summoned the superior Dragon Gundam, but instead of it being sort of one punch and it was over, this was a lot better, I feel. Anyway, I'll see you in the comments section down below. I'll see you on the next one. Bye!